Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day. We're taking a quick look here at Bitcoin, just reaffirming a few important factors and kind of double checking some things. The market is super strange right now. We got really crazy, weird, random breakouts after, fully confirming bearish behavior on a lot of coins, and then they just take off out of nowhere. And then the inverse applies too, where just, some overextended coins are pulling back and Bitcoin doesn't really truly know what it wants to do. So don't be frustrated by the market right now. This is unfortunately very common in the industry, specifically when things like this all kind of come to fruition. And again, I think that there's a decent chance that we had some fundamental catalyst from yesterday, this morning, with South Korea declaring martial law. That does have a tendency to push the price action in different directions, and we saw a pretty aggressive selling candle here. It doesn't mean the price is going to continue lower, but it just kind of shows that a lot of weak hands probably got swept. What I mean by that is probably high leverage longs effectively got destroyed there. And once more, high leverage shorts got destroyed just a moment before that. So this is just a consistent ripsaw. It is not the greatest. We can see here, just really quick to clarify, the price action was supposed to have bounced and broken this trend line and essentially bounced off its local point of control at the time, roughly 97,000. That didn't work out, and said alternative route pursued, and the price ended up pulling back and rejecting off that descending trend line. So we do have, just to clarify, this is still considered to be a bullish trend. I know it seems weird, but when you have a descending broadening wedge pattern here, Bitcoin broke out of that at the when we hit that $74,000 mark and ran to 99. That's essentially the same concept. Okay, so again, it's weird to think that this is bullish, but it is, and we're still maintaining above this support level at 94.7, and that is an important factor. So just kind of giving you some brief bullet points here. We're not in dire straits, but it's looking kind of dicey. It's this is kind of just the way that's working out right now. All right, let's quickly look here at the liquidation data for Bitcoin and kind of go from there. And if you are new to the channel, I just want to say thanks again for watching, joining in, and obviously, if you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site. Link down below. We've got a lot of new traders coming over, so welcome on board. Don't forget to hit the like button. And either way you look at it, learn as much as you can here. That's the whole point of these videos. So take a look here. We can see there's a pretty significant amount of liquidation still left, maybe 5 or 6 billion right at 93.5. Those are probably some late longs there essentially jumping in. But we can also see previous to that, of course, 92 to 93.5 is that range of liquidation that's still left remaining. Okay, this is last 7 days worth of liquidation. But as you can see, majority of that lower level got hit pretty hard. This is a pretty common occurrence when the price action gets kind of closer to a support level. Price action wicks all the way down and right back up as if it never happened. So yeah, again, if you're high leveraged long in the 94K range, I'm sorry, you probably got demolished. But at this point, that's just kind of the whole preface or whole premise here is I like to kind of let you know that high leverage trading is a pretty bad idea. A lot of folks come over to my community because of that, and I can just say that in general, best practice right now, low leverage, low position size. Honestly, that's probably going to be my narrative the entire time, no matter what the trading conditions are, just because of how ridiculously volatile crypto market is right now. It's a really strange market at this point. Stranger than usual, I'll admit. Normally we see a lot of cool stuff happen at this point, but we're seeing like a lot of uncool things with just monstrous wicks down and then right back up again. So just sweeping all levels of liquidation. It's terrible. Anyways, 100,000. We know this already at this point, a significant amount of liquidation up there. Just know that we do have a chunk between 88 and 90,000. So if we were to get closer to the low 90s, it would make sense, of course, again, to see that little sweep there of that previous liquidation level. Okay, because we came close. We came to like 91,000 recently and then instantly recovered. So I would just say that be prepared for the upper 88s or upper 80K range if we do revisit low 90s. We're a long ways from that at this point. At least it sure feels that way. Anyways, that's kind of the whole point of me mentioning that is just kind of give you an overview, right? I'm not telling you the price is going to crash to that level, but at this point here on the daily time frame, we're still over the moving averages, surprisingly. We are also in decent shape here. I don't love the money flow index being below the RSI. That's usually unfavorable, but it reflects the fact that we just saw a lot of selling pressure and that the last 14 days, we're seeing more money coming away from Bitcoin than going into it. It makes sense, of course, because it's a very large price point. It seems weird. I haven't added to my spot bag at all in the 90K range, so that just gives you some perspective. But again, I'm pretty heavy in the 50s and 60s, so it's kind of hard to warrant that. But no matter how you look at it, I feel still that the 90K range is likely here to stay. Either way, stochastic RSI is swinging down, money flow index, again, coming back down, RSI kind of cooling off. These are all normal things when you have an overextension leading into a higher price point like this. So I don't think the daily time frame is bearish, but I don't think it's bullish at all. Okay, we're kind of like right there in the middle. It's like, you can be both, neutral, if you will, or both bullish and bearish. I would say that it's fairly neutral at this point. So generally speaking, not ideal trading conditions. It doesn't like tell us that it's going to go either way. Again, as I mentioned previously, a closure above 97K would be optimal because that would allow for us to be above a lot of resistance, and that resistance comes from this point of control here locally in this range, and then also, of course, with this golden pocket at about 96.3 to 97K roughly. Okay, so again, just this little area here is a pretty heavy resistance for us. So breaking through that is going to be perfect. Again, closing above that, different story altogether, but at this point here, if we look at the RSI on the 4 hour, we're under 50. So generally not a great sign. Being above that would put us above 97K. What do you know? So again, looking for a closure at 97,000 or higher to feel comfortable and confident in our long position. We do have a long position open. It's currently in profit because we've been averaging into it on the way down. So we're at about, I think, an average price point of 95,000, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here, 95.2. So we're in at 95.2. Congrats to people on our SUI trade there for our long recently. This is how crazy the market is. SUI is looking like it was going to break bearish yesterday, and it just recovers instantly. So just get used to it, folks. This is just kind of the market that we're in. If you don't like it, you're probably in the wrong industry. I think it's kind of fun and exciting, but honestly, it can be very aggravating when you make a wrong call, which we all do. I mean, I made a terrible call on near protocol. It was supposed to break down every single time frame confirming bearish divergence, and it just shot straight to the moon. It's just ridiculous. So anyways, cool in one way, not another. Depends on how you trade. But again, low leverage. We didn't lose too much. We offset it with that SUI trade. It's not really a big deal. Anyways, having said that, we can see MACD is trying to converge. Stochastic is converging. These are generally favorable. We're above the 50-day SMA, but tentatively below the 20. So like, again, we're like in this weird little transition right now. This is not really ideal conditions to take a long position, especially in the light of what's going on here as far as local highs and lows. So let's talk about that really quick, give you some perspective, and recognize here that, again, getting above 96.3 is important. We saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candlesticks from yesterday and Monday, letting us know, or basically just all day yesterday, letting us know that we cannot pass this level. Thou shall not pass. 96,300 tentative resistance. We've got a lot of volume flowing in to this increase, so that's a very positive sign for now. But if that volume doesn't continue, we're going to start to see the same effect here, the price come back down. So taking shorts into that, it would be very bad to kind of short into that little range, but generally speaking, it's not optimal no matter how you look at it. Okay, so at this point, I would say that you're in a pretty good position overall. I would recommend not taking any consideration for trades right now, and at this point, just focusing on really just waiting for confirmation. So 97,000 or higher, that's what my recommendation would be here at this point. So what I'm thinking here is to wait for a daily candlestick close over 96.3 at the very least. 97 would be better. And at that point, I wouldn't say necessarily consider a long with Bitcoin, but at that point, it might be safer to take some longs with altcoins. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Either way, I hope that makes sense and I clarified that correctly. Thanks again so much for watching. Look forward to seeing you on the next video. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Look forward to seeing you then. Take care.